continuously be saying we want people to go into STEM, but not pick up the ones that is the weaker ones. So we have this unique program that we do with the government support to mentor these girls. Of course, we do also have other STEM programs for JHS, where Alote Maths Camp, that's the late Professor Alote's name is what he is. He's one of the funders of our institution, with our main funder, Neil, a South African. So we have that. We also have a program, a master program, specifically for teachers. And it's amazing when we launched this master program for teachers in mathematical sciences and seeing the impact. So our model of teaching and our way of teaching is a bit different, where it is problem-solving based. And to have teachers, we have 50 teachers currently on the program, to have teachers who are enrolled on the program getting the feedback from their schools saying that the mode of teaching has changed. The teachers don't question when a student is questioning how the method was arrived at, you know, because we are training them to understand that you solve the problem with the students. So you don't start by giving theories alone and the student is supposed to learn. You together look at the problem and then you solve the problem. So these are, for us as an industry in education, a kind of programs that we have to promote STEM, people moving into STEM.
Perfect, thank you very much. Justina, do you want to tell me what you're doing in your industry?
Thank you very much. Honored to be here. I'll also pick the question from the direction from the CSIR, where I work. So CSIR is the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. We are the foremost national research organization promoting R&D here in Ghana. So for the CSIR, I would like to tackle the question from the research industry linkages. So how we are able to prepare ourselves to meet with industry and the needs of industry. So over the years, research has been like a public good. So the CSIR produces its research output and there is less commercialization. There is less linkages with industry. So more or less, we are more concentrated on producing our products, getting our papers published for our various promotional criteria. But I think somewhere in 2014, we had a project that was funded by the World Bank through the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology, and Innovation. And this project actually sought to establish a center within the CSIR where we would be able to refine technologies and transfer technologies to the private sector. So as I talk to you now, like the project ended somewhere in 2016, but the center has been institutionalized within the CSIR framework. So here now CSIR does not just focus on producing its R&D or for its own, let's say, promotional criteria that researchers need to fulfill, but now we are more into commercialization as well. So this center actually links with industry players, so including SMEs, including artisans, including big industry players, where there is this collaboration where so now more or less commercialization has become a part of the CSIR mandate, which wasn't there. So I can say that by and large, the CSIR is also trying its best to link with industry. And I think in the next few years, you should be seeing a very radical change between research industry linkages that we have in Ghana.
That's amazing. It's very, very encouraging, actually. Madam Asari, would you like to take that on as well?
So, I bring you greetings from the Director General of Ghana Education Service and the entire GS management. Now for Ghana Education Service, and to be precise, Science Education Units, we have lots of partners from the industry that support us in the area of STEM education. And I'm happy to see Madam Adelaide from AIMS Ghana. They are partners. And then Mr. Abdulai, they also support us so far as STEM education is concerned. in terms of capacity building. Now, recently, we have Energy Commission. For the past 2 years, they've come out with a program termed Energy Challenge among our students, specifically SHS students, where students are able to come out with projects to solve problems on energy in the area of energy conservation and energy efficiency. And you see, it is a problem-solving challenge, and the students are really doing very well. Now the awareness is being created where they come out with very good projects and they are being graded, and now we have winners in our respective schools, and they won themselves good prizes just to motivate them. So other schools that couldn't partake are now preparing adequately to take part. And in so doing, it is a way of helping our students to know some of the contemporary issues within the country. And such WIDAM is also part of the sponsors. Now coming to waste management as also a challenge. We had competitions in that area, which was heavily sponsored by it, even though it was initiated by UNDP together with Ghana Education Service, but we had sponsors such as Coca-Cola and then Zoom Lion. And I'm proud and happy to say that at the end of the contest, most of the products have been, sponsored by these agencies. And it is a way of helping our students to enter into entrepreneurship and innovation. And when it comes to Ghana Education Service herself, we also believe in promoting STEM education through project development. So we have activities, annual activities such as science, technology, mathematics, innovation education, which is being carried out at both JHS and SHS level, where students are given areas to build projects. And I think, I don't know how many of you have been out there to see some of the projects from students. These are our products. This is what we encourage our students to do in the area of agric, mathematics, economics, and science itself. And aside that, we have another program being initiated by Ghana Education Service, and for that matter, Ministry of Education. We call it Ghana Science Olympiad. And the students do very well so far as STEM education is concerned in the area of hands-on, minds-on, and then hands-on activities. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Abdulai, would you want to take that on as well?
The university membership, and then the professional. We have 3 professional chapters. We have Accra Alumni chapter, we have Tema Alumni, and then we have Takwa. We carefully designed this professional chapter membership so that we'll be able to engage the student right from SHS up to the professional level to create that sustained path for the student to remain in the field of STEM. We deliberately do that so that what we do is that we created an affinity group among student members, so that there are certain companies that we're having a strong partnership or affiliation with. We guide our students in sort of internships and all that they get opportunity to do, within these partner companies, so that they maintain that, strong alliance with the STEM community and then be able to remain within the STEM field. We also have an event annually, which is an international conference, which is hosted by, each chapter, campus that we have. The last one before the COVID, was Accra Technical University. So we host all students, and then we have visitors from Nigeria, Gambia, Rwanda, and all that. Ghana is the headquarters, and we have chapters in all these countries. We have to go and set up chapters in even Rwanda and Kenya. So we're doing this deliberately to create a certain strong agenda that STEM is the world now, and we have to imbibe STEM to be able to encourage the youth to pursue the career. But when we encourage them, how do we make sure that they remain in the path of STEM? Because we find most youth leaving the STEM field, going into other fields.
So I want to find out, Madam Adelaide, when I was growing up, when I was in secondary school, I was horrible at mathematics. When I say horrible, I don't know how I got here today because my maths was absolutely rubbish. And I can imagine for the secondary school students here, it was the same thing for them. So my question actually is right now is, with these students and with mathematics and, STEM, how do these students actually come into this by, mentoring, job shadowing, and internships? Is it something that all of these brands, obviously you've already mentioned that you do internships, is that something that you guys do?
Yes. It's an academic institution, because it's postgraduate. When our core programs, that is the master's or MPhil or PhD programs, are mainly for those who have graduated from the bachelor's. So we have, just like any institution, a window of opening applications for if you want to do the master's or you want a PhD. Now, the master program is very common because, and let me say this, AIMS is a fully funded institution, so we don't have school fees. Everybody who comes there is funded. So we are funded by the government of Ghana, the Canadian government, and other donors like MasterCard, the German government, to run our programs. And as I said, the slogan of AIMS is the next Einstein. So the founders believe that the next Einstein will come from Africa. And we at AIMS Ghana says it will possibly be a female. So how do you produce the next Einstein? That is what the West do in the world. In the West, they nurture the talent. Here, that is the challenge. It's not that if you are not talented or you are not smart, you are to be taken out. But the thing is that once there is a talented person, how do you give the person the necessary resources and the necessary environment, a good environment to grow? In America, and I always say this, that in America, if you've been to America before, you know that the smartest people are just a few. You talk to an average American and you're like, really, are you the America that I know? But there's Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg and all the others. These are the talents, and usually they have even programs that is targeted to them. So you can be at a basic level, a year 1, year 2, they find your talent, be it in music, be it in any STEM field, they groom you towards that. So what we do at AIMS is similar to that, but at the postgraduate level, where we take these talented students all over Africa. So our students are from all over Africa, including Ghana. And then we put them in one room, and we get the best lecturers. So I have the hope that we will spark this kind of innovation and the next Einstein. And when we do other programs, again, like the girls in mathematical science, is a similar model. We are picking the talented females. So our first girls graduated just last month. It's a 9-month mentorship program. So you don't need to leave school. You are in school, but when they are in school, they are given laptops. So they participate in online monthly program. They are assigned mentors all over the world. And then when they are on vacation, Easter break, they come to AIMS campus, have on-site events or on-site program. It is not really academic. There is a few academic parts that they are introduced into the simple theories and problem-solving skills that mathematics have to offer. But the aim is that picking these talented girls, and they are 35, the first batch is 35, the next batch we hope to recruit 50. Picking these talented girls and giving them the best opportunity. And I remember the first batch, November, when we had the 35 girls, when I walked into the room, the orientation, and I asked a question. And these were coming from all over Ghana. It's not only Wesley girls and stuff that we know. We had a Contombra Secondary School. But I ask a question, and it's hard, the confidence to even raise your hand and answer. And I must tell you, the graduation, the Deputy Minister of Education, Honorable Intim Forjo, was there. He was overwhelmed. They were asking him brilliant questions. And this is the kind of generation we need. It's not about only academic. Innovators must be bold. You must be bold to go out there to test your ideas, to discuss at aims. And it's a Ghanaian culture, right? But I'm not saying that we should adopt it. But I remember telling the girls when they came, I was like, at Ames, we'd go by first name. So I am Adelaide. And they would say, Madam. I said, if you say Madam, don't talk to me. Go back. You know, I'm just saying that this was our way of making them relax. And so it's a blend of all the things you've asked me. Our students do internship when they graduate. We have a typical postgraduate university like ours, you will see that if you take our graduates, about 40% want to go into academia and research. So they will pursue their PhDs and others. And then we have another set of 40% who will tell you, surely I want to go to industry. There's the floating people who are not sure yet. But not sure, not because they don't know what they want to do, but they have all sort of ideas. They will run their ideas. They want to do research. And all. So we give them, those ones and end up doing another 1 year to do an MPhil. But the industry ones, last academic year, we launched the hybrid internship hub because we used to have this internship, and now because of COVID, companies are not really having the space. Even they are not working. MTN is still working from home. So we pitched to these industries that, what if we give you the students and they are able to work with you remotely? So we have all our students who are graduates who went into this hybrid internship hub working for Google, but based here. And the idea that we pitched to the industry, I mean, Fidelity Bank took 6 of our graduates, just like that. The idea that we pitched to this industry, and I realized that they like, and that's what I'm telling again our academic institutions that are here is, yes, it's good we are training the undergraduates, but I know it costs so much to train the postgraduates. But can we also invest in postgraduate training? The idea is that the industry finds it that when we tell them that this is a postgraduate coming, and the internship is not to come and learn alone, but give the person a problem to solve for you in 3 months. So in Fidelity like this, they've given them some data scientist problems that they solved. They help them, they have supervisors, and they help them solve. And once they could see the results, because they would model economic data, they would model, simulate things, and tell them that with these parameters, you can achieve this, the industry is comfortable. So we at AIMS, just to wrap up and say that we blend a lot of these things, but we have a good lesson and a good model that we would always are looking for partners to work with, to share with. I mean, we appreciate more the universities around because we want the undergraduates to come. We need people to finish undergraduates before they come. And we want the talented ones as well.
Thank you very much. What academic gateways are being provided for students to think about STEM to eventually go into the industry? What academic gateways are being provided for students to think about STEM to eventually go into the industry?
We have, in our curriculum, we have revised to make it standard-based. So this time, we believe in creativity. We believe in critical thinking. We believe in innovation and digital literacy. And all these core competencies, you can get them from STEAM education. So courses like science, home economics are great. When you come to the sciences, we have termed one as integrated science. And then we have the electives, wood technology, all the TVETs, the dressmaking, carpentry, they all fall under STEAM education, including art and design and music. So these are the courses that are being run through right from preschool. But then the higher you go, the more, advanced it will be. But basically, these are the basic programs that is being run. And then we have put all the necessary things in place. For instance, in all our SHS, we have centers, that is science resource centers. And recently, between 150 of our secondary school resource centers have been retooled, and others have been refurbished. And it's an ongoing process. And it is the mandates or the desire of the Minister of Education, and then the Director General of Ghana Education Service, to ensure that we have all the necessary tools that will help these our learners to enjoy STEAM education. So far, and then aside that, we also believe in capacity building. That is the gateway, capacity building. Annually, within a year, teachers go for training 3 times in the area of ICT, science herself, mathematics herself, and then other related subjects in STEAM education. Sorry, I'm committing myself. In STEAM education. And then we have what, like I said earlier on, other activities that are purely student factor. And a typical example is the National Science and Mathematics Quiz, which has become internationally accepted, where even old students, they are now owing it. You see, it makes the whole thing challenging, and it enhances learning and teaching in our respective schools. And we believe in the foundation. So very soon, we are going to introduce a similar one right from upper primary to JHS. So we want to cut them young so that they will also do well in the science and maths quiz. And moving forward, we'll see champions upon champions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're running a bit behind schedule, so this is going to be my last question. What is the long-term goal in terms of getting students, university, secondary school, literally all of them? What's the long-term goal of getting them into STEM? What is the plan? This is literally cut across. Are we going to introduce certain subjects in school? Is the curricula going to be changed? Are these, things going to be put in place in order for our people to be the next Albert Einstein? Because without that, they're not really going to get anywhere, if we're being honest. Because as you said, it does start from primary school. It starts from creche. Without them, we're really nothing. So I want to know what the long-term goal is from the brands of STEM to help out our students.
Yeah, thank you. That's a brilliant question. So the long-term goal, embodies, quite a lot of organization that is doing work around the STEAM. We have a lot of organizations trying to do similar, STEM promotion and application, in Ghana. There are a whole lot, even in the world, just like NSBE. So we exemplify our mission statement. It's a pipeline, and we set aside, let's say globally, or even in the US, the goal is, let's say, maybe 25,000, to produce 25,000 engineers by 2025. In Ghana, we're working collaboratively with the Science Directorate, with other organizations that is doing work within STEAM, to say that we want to increase the number of students studying STEM or STEAM careers within this period, so that continuously we'll be able to achieve the target maybe set by the Ministry of Education in terms of, or even the government in terms of producing the number of engineers in the country. So what we have done as an organization is to have certain official meetings with, let's say, GHI, Ghana Institution of Engineers, to find out how many engineers does the country produce every year, and what targets does the country has to achieve every year in producing engineers. So that comes from the government through Ministry of Education. We've had all those conversations. And then additionally, what are organizations like NSBE, the Science Directorate, and then the AIMS, and a host of other things doing in order to support this initiative or this effort by the government and then GHI and all that. So what we have done is to collaborate with such meaningful organizations. So recently we've signed an MOU with the Institute of Engineering Technology just to be able to help or facilitate our members coming out of university to get certified to practice engineering. Because most of them do all the engineering disciplines, they come out and they don't even know where to go. They get fumbled, and then you see them getting into banking and other spaces, and then leaving the engineering for me. The country actually needs to build its capacity within the STEM fields so that, the country will be able to develop. If you have the manpower of the nation shifting into business and other areas, it means that there's a gaping hole, there's a void in terms of building, the infrastructure development of the country. So that is what I think that organizations like NSBE or the Science Directorate or AIMS should be able to do, for us to work collaboratively and see where we can create synergies to see how we can achieve the overarching goal of continuously promoting people to study STEM and at the same time still be in the STEM pipeline. Thank you.
That's really good to hear. Thank you so much for that, because without that, nobody's really going to be encouraged to want to take the next step. Just to let you guys know that there'll be a 15-minute break after this session. So we're just going to take 5 questions from our audience, just 5. This session has been amazing and very, very encouraging and pretty informative. So we're just going to take 5 questions from our audience, and we will go on our 15-minute break. Can we get the mic stationed around, please, because there's hands going up. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's a very laudable question. I remember the former Minister of Education, Nana Opoku-Agyeman, once said, the rate at which non-science students are failing mathematics and science, why can't they have the tutorials? And then I think getting the basis will be enough, instead of examining them in their final year, so that at least everybody will be educated. You get everything all right, but without internally you'll be examined. But when it comes to WASI or any external examination, you wouldn't be graded. And then she again said, what about the science students? If they pass the sciences well and they fail language, what happens to them? Your question is a very good one. But in Ghana here, we have a standard. Every student, even from preschool, but let me take the examinable classes, like JHS and SHS, you need to pass your core subjects. And these core subjects are, please name them for me. Your core maths, your language, and then your science. Do you know why? It is only in Ghana here, when you are an art student, you'll be denied admission in engineering, even if you pass your integrated science. But I tell you, outside Ghana, if you pass your integrated science very well, you can go and offer medicine, engineering, or any other science-related program. And you can come out as a professional body. So, there has been a series of debates, in this area, where a visual art student is considered as a STEMer. Yet, because the person cannot pass very well his or her sciences, and when I talk of sciences, it is mathematics inclusive, and the person may be good, in creativity, innovation. What do we do? Now, a center has been set up for that group in Kumasi. And very soon, it will be opened for students who are interested in creativity. Yes, the creative arts, the musicians, in fact, all that group, talented group. And it is all about STEAM education. So, under the leadership of our Honorable Minister, Dr. Yao Educhu, they, with a number of educationists, there has been roundtable discussions in the concern that you have just raised. And I know, effectively this year, you hear good news in that area. Thank you very much.
Yes, Baba.
I just want to quickly add this. I think everything begins in the mindset. I always say that I found myself in STEM by accident. I remember during our JHS when we were supposed to choose our courses, the teachers told us that we should come the next day to continue on. We went the next day and then the teachers boldly told us that they've picked courses for each and every one of us. I wanted to read arts because I wanted to be a lawyer. Then I asked which program he chose for me. He said agricultural science. I was like, agricultural science? Like, why won't you even give me science? It wasn't an area I really wanted to be. When I went in, I realized that for agri science, you do physics, you do chemistry, you do mathematics, that's elective math. The only difference between agricultural science and the main science was biology and agri. I didn't like it, but what did I do? I just told myself that I found myself here. I need to make the best out of it. So I think whether we are visual arts students or we are pure science students and we are made to read other science courses, we just have to make up our mind that we are here. This is it. You don't have any other option. And as Madam said, it's supposed to build our basis. So that in the near future, if you want to move to engineering, you are covered. But if we allow the visual arts to roll like the visual arts we know, then in the end, it will just be these arts that we want to encourage. But I think we want to go beyond that and move into engineering. So all the students, I just want to encourage you that there's nothing like too hard for you to do. If you put your mind to it, you'll be able to. Now I'm an economist. I was really bad in maths, as you said, but I'm doing economics now, and I'm excellent at it. So for me, it's the mindset. So all of us being here, we don't have, like, science is not for me, it's the art that is for me. That language should be dead by the time we leave the doors of this auditorium, that we can do all things, and especially as in this auditorium, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us.
Amen.
I just want to say something to him that, so the girls in math, the 35 girls, they are not all science students. We had a visual arts student from Abusha Porters. We had general arts students from all over, I think they were about 7. We had business, those who were doing business. So to get into the program, we are just asking you to write an interest, why you are interested in mathematics, So just to tell you that if that person who is doing visual arts has a passion for mathematics, may not necessarily be good. Maybe she is, maybe she's not, but has an interest. Because the other thing, that's why I just want to say that the other thing is the teaching. I mean, the teaching of mathematics over the years has really not been good. And that's what I think GES needs to do. And that's for me to also announce that the minister, when he visited us during the last graduation, was so impressed with our programs and said that government is giving us a land and is building a campus for us. And he said that, well, the land is too big. He will build a girls' STEM school for us to nurture. So for that kind of investment, I think that it shows that we increasingly have to open up the kind of specialized teaching and programs that we do. It's all about the way, the mindset. Math is not difficult. I did engineering, yes, but it doesn't mean that math was easy for me. But I think it's the way it's taught.
Hello. I must say that all of us seated here, we are all STEAMers. Everybody is a STEAMer. Everybody is multiple talented. And STEAM education is not a subject. Let us understand this very well. It is not a subject, and for that matter, it is not limited to only science students. So everybody can be a member of a STEAM or a STEM club in the school. You know, it is a way, or STEAM education is a tool to discover one's talents. It's all about talent, what you can do. That is why, look at this room, look at this big room. It's all about mathematics, art and design, and science. Do you appreciate it? The room is full of STEAM components. Lots of measurements have been done here. And without that measurement, there wouldn't have been accuracy. And this is what we call STEAM. Lot of art and design. We have patterns over here. And this is what we call STEAM. So when we talk of STEAM or STEM education, it is not a subject. But it is a way, it is a tool to discover that talent that God has given you. We are talking of skills. And this is what the 21st century is talking about. Skills acquisition. What you can do with your minds, your hands, and your hearts to bring out a product like Prof said. So it doesn't matter whether you are a science student, whether you are an art student, whether you are a business student. That is why in the Ghanaian curriculum, we've made the subject science universal for everybody, because everybody is a scientist and everybody is a mathematician. Don't we take medicine? Don't we measure? All of us, are we not good cooks? Don't we do measurement when we are cooking? Yes. That makes you a STEAMer or a STEMer. So take it from here that everybody is a STEAMer or a scientist. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're not going to take any more questions at this point in time, but if you do have any questions, please feel free to approach our panelists. They will answer any questions that you have. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We really appreciate it. Thank you. 15-minute break, guys. Thanks.
When my God is for me.